Have you ever wondered why empaths often find themselves in complex love relationships? If you're scratching your head wondering, what's an empath? Simply put, they are individuals who absorb the emotions of others, often feeling them more intensely than their own. They're like human sponges, soaking up emotions, both good and bad. But how does this unique ability impact their love lives? And more importantly, what are the habits that make them so challenging to love? Stay tuned as we delve into the 7 habits of empaths that make them hard to love. The first habit is absorbing emotions. Empaths, by their very nature, are like emotional sponges. They soak up the feelings of those around them, experiencing them as deeply as if they were their own. This can make their relationships a complex dance of emotions. They can find themselves laughing heartily one moment, only to be barraged by a wave of sadness the next, simply by being in the vicinity of someone experiencing such emotions. This ability to absorb emotions is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it allows empaths to connect deeply with others, understanding their joys and sorrows on a profound level. It gives them the capacity to love with an intensity that others might find hard to match. But on the other hand, it can turn relationships into an emotional roller coaster, with highs and lows that can be hard to navigate. This emotional absorption can make relationships intense and sometimes overwhelming. The second habit is their need for solitude. Empaths, by their very nature, are deeply connected to the world around them. They absorb emotions, energy, and even subtle cues that others may miss. This constant connection can be draining and overwhelming. To recharge and replenish their energy, empaths often seek solitude. This is not a sign of disinterest or aloofness. Rather, it's a vital part of their self-care routine, a way for them to regain balance and clarity. In a relationship, this need for solitude can be misinterpreted. It might seem that the empath is distancing themselves or withdrawing emotionally. However, it's important to understand that this solitude is not about the other person. It's about the empath's need to recharge. When a partner understands and respects this need, it can actually strengthen the bond between them. It can create a space for mutual understanding and deeper connection. A misunderstanding of this need for solitude can often lead to conflicts. Thirdly, empaths have a heightened sensitivity to negativity. This trait can be likened to having a supercharged antenna that picks up on negative vibes within their vicinity. It's not that they're drawn to negativity, rather they're more affected by it than most. This sensitivity can make certain situations, especially conflicts, rather overwhelming. Now imagine being in a relationship where every disagreement feels like a storm. It's intense, right? This is why empaths often avoid conflict, not because they're afraid to face issues head-on, but because the negative energy stirred up can be too much to bear. However, this avoidance can sometimes lead to bigger problems. Unresolved issues can pile up, creating a proverbial mountain out of a molehill. It's a delicate balance that empaths and their partners need to strike. Understanding, patience, and open communication are key. Their sensitivity to negativity can make resolution of conflicts a bit tricky. Now we move on to habits 4, 5, and 6, honesty, intuition, and overgiving. Let's begin with honesty. Empaths have a deep-rooted need for honesty. They crave authenticity in their relationships, which can be challenging for some. This is because empaths can see through pretense and deception, making it difficult for others to maintain a facade. This strong need for truth can sometimes be misconstrued as being too demanding or inflexible, causing tension in relationships. Next up is intuition. Empaths have a highly developed sense of intuition. They can perceive situations and understand people's feelings and motives on a deeper level. This intuitive nature often leads them to make decisions based on their gut feelings rather than logical reasoning. While this can be a remarkable trait, it can also create misunderstandings. Others might find it hard to comprehend why empaths make certain choices, leading to potential conflicts. Lastly, we delve into overgiving. Empaths are inherently generous. They have an innate desire to help and heal others, often putting others' needs before their own. This habit of overgiving can make them prone to burnout and can also create an imbalance in relationships. It can lead to a dynamic where the empath is constantly giving and their partner is constantly receiving, which can lead to resentment and misunderstanding. In essence, these 3 habits, honesty, intuition, and overgiving, can make relationships with empaths quite challenging. The need for profound honesty may seem too intense for some, their intuitive nature may lead to misunderstood decisions, and their tendency to overgive can create imbalance in relationships. However, it's worth noting that these traits also make relationships with empaths incredibly enriching. They bring a level of depth and understanding that is truly unparalleled. These habits can make relationships with empaths a unique experience. The seventh habit is their difficulty with boundaries. Empaths are known for their big hearts and willingness to give, but this can often lead to difficulties when it comes to setting boundaries. They might find it hard to say no, even when they're overwhelmed or stretched thin. This is because they feel deeply and don't want to disappoint or hurt others. However, boundaries are crucial in any relationship. They help maintain a sense of individuality and personal space, and they safeguard against the potential for one person's needs and wants overshadowing the others. Without these clear demarcations, a relationship can tilt towards imbalance, with the empath often on the receiving end of emotional exhaustion. This struggle with setting boundaries is not a sign of weakness, but rather a testament to their compassionate nature. However, it's important for empaths to learn to establish and uphold boundaries for their own well-being and to ensure the health of their relationships. Their struggle with boundaries can often lead to imbalances in their relationships. In conclusion, being in a relationship with an empath can be a complex and rewarding experience. We've traversed through the 7 habits that make them difficult to love, from absorbing emotions to their need for solitude, their sensitivity to negativity, their honesty, intuition, overgiving nature, and difficulty with boundaries. Yet, these are the same qualities that make them uniquely captivating. Understanding these habits can lead to deeper, more meaningful relationships with empaths. Thank you for watching.